Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a different video, or like something new and something like really personal in a sense. It's about finance, and not many people want to talk about their finance and like their budgets kind of thing and the income. So I'm just going to be sharing you my budget plan as a PhD student about how much I make from like the uni or like from my scholarship in a sense, or as well as like any external part-times and side hustles I do, as well as the outgoing. So like any expenses and the bills I pay for as a independent student who's living away from home in a sense, since my home is in London while I'm studying at University of Edinburgh, which is also in like Scotland. So it's not that far, but it's still in like a different country in a sense. But yeah, let's just get started. Like the first thing first is PhD stipend. So what's the difference between a stipend and a salary in a sense, you might ask? Like the stipend you get won't be affected by any income tax in a sense. So in the UK, if you make anything over 12.5k, you'll be introduced to income taxes. So like there's brackets for certain rates. So I think like up to 25k is like 20%. Then it's like another stage, I think so it's like 25k is 20%. Then I believe it's like 40 or 50k is 30%, then anything over is like 50% or 45% tax or something like that. So it's just a bracket of income taxes in the UK. If you want me to make an in-depth video about like the UK taxes and how it works, just let me know, comment below or something. Then I could go in depth, because it's easy if I have like a figure or a flow chart to show you guys how it works and give you an example. Whereas with the stipend, like it doesn't matter, whatever it says on the statement, whatever it says on like the stipend you can get, you're going to receive as like your income. There isn't anything that's going to be affected. Whereas for a salary, you have your base salary or the salary before tax and your take-home salary. So like if you see here, any research that happens in the UK is mostly funded by the UK Research and Innovation like organization, so UKRI organization kind of thing, unless you are funded privately by a company or self-funded in a sense. And the problem with these or any type of funding is that if you have one funding, you can't apply for another one. So since I have this as part of my CDT in robotics and automation system, I can't apply to like a Google funding in a sense. So, which is annoying, but when I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's much more, since I think Google only pays for like equipment, or like Santander pays you like 500 or something, a scholarship. So it can't cover your whole a living expense in a sense, right? So with my thing, all the tuition fee, everything is covered. So this stipend is just for my maintenance in a sense. So like if you check last year for 2023 to 2024, so that was just last year, I got 18,622. So that basically comes out to 1,551 pounds and 83 cents in a sense, if you just divide that by 12. But because of inflation and other stuff, it went up. Not too much, but it has went up, but it doesn't equate to the inflation amount. Like the inflation went up so much compared to the pay rise in a sense, so like the living cost is still high. And Edinburgh is the second expensive city to live in after London, so, and they haven't considered that. So like with the new amount of 19,237, all I get is actually 1,603 pounds and 8 cents. So just around like £50 increase from last year per month. So that's pretty good. Like it does make a difference, since I could play around with that £50. And like if you're in London, you get a bit more. And that's what annoying, since I'm in like Edinburgh is the second most expensive after London. So if I'm doing a PhD in Manchester, which is like really cheap compared to like other cities, like cities like Edinburgh and London, they will still get the same amount of stipend as I do, but they don't have to pay as much. For example, let's say like activities like bowling or like something. Bowling in Edinburgh is like, I think it's like £12 per like round kind of thing. So whereas in Manchester, you can get it for £6. So like it's just double in a sense. So it's not worth it. So that's the annoying thing. It's not, it just separates it by if you're in London or if you're just outside of London, that's it. There isn't anything about like Edinburgh in a sense, which is kind of annoying. So like Edinburgh does have a high living cost. So with that information, I could just say, so for the monthly, so in a sense, my PhD stipend is my like base, like monthly, like reliable monthly salary in a sense, because I know that I will get that monthly income every month without fail until my contract finishes, which is like, I think it's like August of 2027. So I still have like 2 more years in a sense. So it's like, well, let me just fill this up, 1,000, that equals to that. Then also like some PhD students is enough, like they could manage. But the problem with me is like, I like food too much. I'm sorry, I just love food. So I eat a lot compared to most people. Like when I speak to some of my friends, like even within our friends group, there is still like a debate, and like like 30% of our friend group, he eats like me, and the other rest is split into different categories. So I don't know, I need to consume minimum like 2,000 calories per day. So, and I don't eat like protein powders or any supplements like that kind of thing. I just have everything like raw in a sense. So I just eat like, I just buy chicken or any meat, make it myself, and fish as well, they're expensive. So I just make that and consume it kind of thing, rather than take any supplementary product. If you're doing a PhD, you're allowed to do 9 hours of part-time, but with the 9 hours part-time, you have to get permission from your supervisor. So your supervisor has to sign it off and have to like let the employer know that he's happy for me to continue to do the work or to start the job kind of sense. So I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity at the Future Institute of Edinburgh. I got invited to an AI role as a software engineer, and they pay me around £18.50, I believe. So let's just calculate that in a sense. So per hour I get £18.50, times that by 9 hours per week, since my contract is 9 hours per week. So that's basically £166.50, times that by 4 for the month. So per month I should get 666, the devil's number. Okay, that was random, I didn't know that. But yeah, so like around 666. And I should also get like some holiday pays as well, because since it's a part-time, they add like a certain percentage. I think, is it 20 or 15% on top of the salary? I'm not too sure about that. I don't know the actual figures. So I think it's 666 because I haven't started this job just yet. It starts in the New Year's, so after the New Year's. In January, I will be starting this role. So I just include that because it's that. And the teaching assistant is like where you teach like undergrads or master's students. So I was doing this to my first semester from September to December. I was a teaching assistant. So I was working 9 hours as that. And as a teaching assistant, you get a bit more. So here is the scale. So if you're teaching assistant, this is the University of Edinburgh pay scale for part-time. So if I go back, so it's full-time, part-time. It's the same scale, we just get a different calculation thing for the hours. So if you're doing full-time, it starts with 40 hours in a sense. So if you're a teaching assistant, you're in, was it grade 6? So you get per hour is £18.58. But I know that I got more because of the holiday thing I was talking about before. So here is my payslip that I just had the sensitive information. So here's my payslip, a sample payslip from Edinburgh. And for 4 hours I worked, I got 87.71. So if I put down the calculator, that should be around like 22 or something. Divided by 4. Yeah, so around 22, so £21.92 per hour in a sense. So like about £22 per hour. So when I was doing that, I was getting more through this job, but I wasn't a big fan. Especially, it's just the marking. Marking was just too long and it was just boring. I didn't mind the actual teaching part, teaching the students and stuff, but it's just marking. Like I remember I was doing like I think 20 hours worth of marking in like 2 hours in a week or something. I was like, it was just dreadful. I was like, it wasn't worth it. So I think, I don't know if I would continue as much, but let's just make an estimate, say that if it's £22, I would do like 4 hours as well, in a sense. Let's say 4 hours, so the same price as my payslip per month. So that would be 27, no, 87, 71, 87, 71 pounds. Then others, like I wanted to include YouTube and stuff, but I'm not part of the YouTube program yet, so I don't get paid through advertisement or like any promotions or anything like that. So others could just be like gifts from my parents or like some money sent over. So let's just say that's like 50 quid a month. So in a year, like it should add up to 600. So let me just make sure that there's just an estimate. So like the first two things are confirmed since I have the contract for it, but everything else, especially for the bill, like especially for the expenses, because for the bill it's like constant money that will just be credited out from my account. I mean debited out from my account monthly, in a monthly basis. Whereas expenses could vary. For like example, if I'm like for groceries and if I'm eating out, it could vary in a sense. So 1 week I could just like, oh, I'm gonna cook in every day compared to eating out, so that week could be cheaper than a week where I'm just eating out more often. So this is just an average of what the monthly budget will be, and that's why I have what the annual amount as well. So it's just like in the end per year, roughly this is what it should be for me, in a sense. This is how much I spent, and some of you might be a bit surprised, but stay tuned. So I know my university undergrad loan, I think it was like 53,000. I'm just doing an estimate. Then my postgrad was 11,000, and my PayPal credit, I think it's like 1,500. So the PayPal credit is just basically like when you could just buy now, pay later. So it's just like basically my camera kits and stuff that I just do it with that and just pay in a monthly basis. I think I have like 1,500 in credit or something that I need to pay off. Then my place in Edinburgh, it's just sad. It's just expensive. Like I know a friend of mine who lives in Glasgow got like a massive apartment for himself and he pays like 700 a month. Whereas for me, like if you check out this video right here, that's the apartment I got in Edinburgh, and I'm sharing with a flatmate. So I got the smaller room in that video tour, and I pay £650 per month for that room. Kill me now. But yeah, it's just like Edinburgh is expensive. When I spoke to other people, they were expecting way higher. So yeah, so the total cost of that apartment that I'm staying in with the flatmate is 1,500. My share, since I'm taking the smaller room, is 650, whereas their share is 850. So yeah, since the room is more than double my size, so I think it was fair and we came to agreement. It wasn't, yeah. And the internet is, I believe, is £32 a month, so split that by 2 is 16. So that's the advantage when you're living with a flatmate or like with someone else, since all of the essential utility bills kind of get split into like the amount of people that you're sharing with. So even the electric bill was like per month, I think it's like 70, so I pay like 35, and gas is 50, so 25, like that's just the average. And water, luckily water in Edinburgh comes under the council tax, but since I'm a full-time student, I don't have to pay council tax, so for me it's free. But I know for some people, I think it's like per year is like 1,200 or something for that apartment, so it's not too bad, but it's just it's another source of money that's just leaving, right? So it's a good thing that I don't have that. Gym is like £22.50, I believe. Then my phone, since I just got the new iPhone 16, since my previous one was pretty old, so I paid £32.99 per month. So it's not too bad of a deal, since I think So like taking away and this is for 24 months for 2 years, taking away the total cost of the phone, which was 800. I think I would only pay like £4 for my SIM, where I get like 100 gigs of data, unlimited calls and texts, and also roaming in EU. So I think that was a pretty good deal. Then subscription could include like was it Netflix, Prime, Deliveroo, Uber, and like ChatGPT and stuff. So that would come to like £50 a month. Society wise, this is the society membership. So the thing is at uni, you just pay it off once. So, but it is still an expense. So I'm trying to see how much I paid. I think it's altogether is about 150, I believe. But also there are like some fees that you had to pay for the student unions and stuff, that like just a bullshit fee that University of Edinburgh just forcing us to pay. I remember during my undergrad and my postgrad, I didn't pay this. Like I just remember like Scotland just does things differently, or just bribes you of money kind of thing. Or I don't know, I'm just bugging. So I think it was like £12.50. That should come up to 250. So I would just call it that in a sense. So let's just go to the savings section. This is the fun part. So I don't know, I try to save. You say that, but like now I'm being more active, and I try to put into like fixed accounts, so I know that I can't take the money out. So for like emergency and stuff, I put it. So it's better to have like a split between 3 things. So like 2 categories, so regular and fixed. But I use ISA since it gives you a better like return for the money that you invest, kind of thing. So for regular save, I put like £150 a month. Say if there's an emergency or something, or if I'm for 1 month when I don't have enough, for like the net doesn't balance with the expense. So then I just take some money out from the regular saver, since there isn't any penalty, and I will still get the interest for the remaining money. Whereas with fixed, if you break the currently saved amount, then you don't get anything. So with that, so I just put 150 aside per month just for emergency sake, kind of thing. Regular fixed saver, I don't use it because I use ISA. So for ISA, I put 500 a month instead. But if you don't use ISA, you should put something in fixed, since it does give you a better return compared to a regular saver. So currently, oh yeah, so like, let me just before doing the expense, let me just see with the income with monthly I get. That's not bad though. Like as a full, like I'm not even working full time in a sense. I'm still a student who's doing their PhD. So because of the extra stuff I'm doing, I get like £2,400. That's not bad, but it's just that I just have too much like expense in a sense. Just wait. But yeah, because I think the expense part is gonna be shocking. But yeah, before, like, that's not bad. The bills is 843. I think that's all right, because like if you think about it, the majority of that is the rent, which is 650, and that's the cheaper side in Edinburgh, because I know some people pays like 1,100 per month for their apartment and like for their studios, and I was like, oh, why? It's just not worth it. And for me, especially as a student, as a PhD, I'm always in my lab or like somewhere, just not in my room most of the time. I just go there to sleep. So I was like, let me just get something where I could just sleep. I know it's not the best thing or the most comfortable place, but hey ho, it's fine. Like, you can survive is enough. I can't do anything about that. And the saving I have per month, I do save 650, which isn't ideal, but it's fine. I think it's not bad compared to the whole thing, because I know people do say save 20% of your income. So let me just see if it is 20%. It's 650. I don't think it is. 650 divided by 2,400. Oh, it's 27%. That's not okay. I'm doing well. Yeah, but it's just like, if you want to survive in London, I need way more of a saving. Yeah, so I save about 650 per month, but that's not always guaranteed. since I do the 150 isn't always guaranteed. I would always take something out since per month. Something could happen if I want to go out with my friends or something, and like the expense was just too high for that specific month, then I would take something out. So ideally, like per month, I know I will save 500. Like that's the thing that I know is confirmed, since once I invest, I wouldn't take it out like because like the last resort kind of thing. If there's a really bad emergency or an urgent emergency, then I'll take it out. So now let's get to the fun part. Groceries. Like on average, I think I would spend like £100 a week on groceries, and that's a lot. But also like that's if I just eat on grocery. But also the problem is when you're a student, time is unpredictable. Like on some weeks you're chilling, you don't have much work, like everything works out as for what you planned and stuff. So you could just prepare your own meal. Like you have time to like make your own meal and just chill. And sometimes when you have like a deadline that's coming up or something that is not working and you're just stressed about something and you're just working, you're focusing on your work. But as a human, you still need to eat, and I can't sleep if I'm hungry. Like I just wouldn't sleep. Like my brain would just be, I'm still starving. Like feed me, something like that, in a sense. So I was like, I can't sleep if I'm still hungry. So I need to eat either way. So on those weeks, I just order on delivery, and especially with delivery and Uber Eats, they just make it so easy. It's just on your fingertips. It's like on a phone. Just click one button, and food just arrives in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes at your door, and you're just like, why are they doing this to me? But yeah, what can you do? It's just life and the 21st century that we live in. And also I'm also cool since I'm doing computer science. So we made these apps and stuff, but so I'm sorry. But yeah, so I would say combining them, it would be like 500 a month, I mean, on average. So let's just say 300 on groceries, then 200 on eating out. Because the expense part is the most complicated part in this whole budgeting plan, because it's not for a specific month. So if it's for a specific month, I could just show you my bank statement in a sense. But I'm just trying to make an average for how it would look for for a 12-year period kind of thing. So yeah, I think this does seem about correct, because annually I would spend 3,600 on groceries and 2,400 on eating out. So like when I'm meeting a friend or like going to see or something, or like just ordering food on delivery or something, that would equate to 2,400 shopping. That just includes the random stuff. I would say, because I do have like another set for like clothing and like gifts and all that. So that could just be like Apple products, or like when I'm buying like headphones or something like that. And I don't think that would equate anything more than 300 per year. So I would say 25 a month, and that would be 300, so around that. Transport, in this case, I'm not considering anything like with the holidays or like coming back to London from Edinburgh. It's just like the local transport just in Edinburgh. So I know I had to travel between universities just in Edinburgh for like conferences, and like also to Glasgow at some point. So, and Aberdeen as well. So those wouldn't equate to much, I would say, because I don't travel like every month, or like once every month, and the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow would be like £10 or something, or like £9 something with the open return on that day. So it's like a day open return kind of thing with the rail card especially. So I think it would be around £10, since if I won't be traveling to Glasgow often, it would just be on a random month. If not that month, I would just be traveling within Edinburgh locally to like other unis like Harriet Watt, for example. So, and that bus fare is only £2 per tap kind of thing. That's already like 5 journeys within a month. So, and I would just do maximum 1 trip per week. So I think that's kind of makes sense. Clothing. I do spend a lot on clothing. I think I do spend like 500 a month, 500 a year. Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry, not 500 a month. I think 500 a year. Like, because I consider like shoes, as well in clothing. So shoes are expensive, and I do buy like minimum one pair of shoes once every year kind of thing. So I think it's about 500 per year. So let me just work out that for monthly in a sense. That would be 41 something. I think that's fair enough. Then healthcare is a different story. Since we're not in America and we're fortunate enough to have like a public free health service, I would say like £5 just for like paracetamol and like other oils and stuff. Just, yeah. Beauty could be like lotion, moisturizers, and all of that. And I know they're expensive, but the thing is, once you buy it, it would last you a while. I think I would say I would spend 150 per year. Yeah, I think that's reasonable, since because my stuff are expensive, so that includes like the shaving cream, after all of that, basically everything guys need. Like, it's not as crazy as for a female, but even for a guy, because I know my word does last like minimum a year. If I buy something, it does last me a year, so I think I could get everything. So like, yeah, because even if my aftershave finish, like aftershaves are expensive, but even if it finish, like the likelihood of the aftershave and everything else finishing at the same time is low, and I could buy the aftershave for like, it's like £80, and that would balance it out kind of thing. So yeah, on average per year it would be £150, since I won't get through a whole aftershave in a year. I think I'll get through one bottle of aftershave in like 2.5 years or 3. Like, yeah, I don't use much and I don't shave often, so yeah. What would I say for gifts? Like gifts, especially, nowadays I have reduced the number of gifts I give, or like expensive gifts I give as well. I would say, let's say around £25, 300. That is a reasonable amount, because especially now when I'm basically like surviving with my own income, it is a different story. Because before doing my undergrad, my parents did support me, so I had more money, and as well as getting a maintenance loan from like the student finance department as well, so I had more in a sense. Entertainment, that could be like going to the cinema, but in a sense going out. Okay, going out could be like going to a pub or something like that. But activities and entertainment, okay, let me just say entertainment is like cinemas and stuff. I think I see like 2 films a year, maximum of 3, depending on the people I go with. So I would say 3, and the tickets are like £15, so 45. So let's just say 45, and that's just, what is it equal? Divided by 12. So £3.75 per month on entertainment. Yeah, why not? Going out, okay, this is the expensive part. Going out is expensive. Oh, kill me now. Like, I think a pint of beer in like Edinburgh is like £8.50 or like nearly £9, which is just sad, depressing. It's like, why would a pint of beer cost that much? Like, I remember, I think in like, I saw a meme where in like 1998 or something, where a pint would cost like £3 or something, or like even less or something. Or was it in 2010? I can't remember. It's one of those, and I was like, why? But now it's more than doubled, which is really annoying. And I don't know about Weatherspoon. Yeah, Weatherspoon is also more, right? But it's not like, because all the pubs near our uni, like University of Edinburgh, it's about £8.50. But I think around in Weatherspoon it's about £6. So it's not too bad. Like compared to London, it's not too bad, but it's pretty close. So I would say going out would be 50, because I don't go out every weekend or something like that, and just once in a blue moon. So like, because I know just going out one week, one night kind of thing, your £50 is gone. So because the alcohol is just expensive. So I think £50 on average. So if you do consider every month, because even at uni, I think I only stay in uni like for 6 months in a sense, or like 9 months as well, because I just come back here during the holiday break. Like for Christmas, I'm back home, and like for Easter break, I'll be back home as well. And also after I finish my year 2 like report and my viva, I will just come back since I have no reason to be there. So that would just be the summer in a sense. So technically I am there just for like, okay, let's just call it like 7.5 months or 8 months in a sense. So I think this does balance it out if I'm there for the whole year. And when I'm back home, I didn't spend any, my parents just gets me everything. So I'm just like living free. So activities would be like going for bowling, axe throwing, just random fun stuff, and like trips like hiking and stuff. So I would say that's probably like 20, because it's not too bad. I wouldn't go to do activity every weekend or day kind of thing. You just go there when there's someone's birthday or like when you're chilling, because when you're just chilling as a student, everyone just wants to go to a pub and just have a chat, or go to a restaurant and just have a chat. So it's not too bad. And YouTube creator, so these are just like gears that I bought for like this, basically this, like the cameras, the mic and stuff. And like every year I do buy something. So even this year I bought the Osmos, no, not the Osmos, I mean the DJI action cam. Where is it? Yeah, so the DJI action cam. So like the whole kit, everything, that's cost about like 550 or something like that. So around 600. I would say it would be like around 1,000 I would spend just on like gears or like equipment for this channel. Per month it would be like 83 and stuff. Then others, I don't know. I feel like for others I would say £50. It'd just be random stuff just to help. Then with all of this on an estimate idea, I would make a net of £56.55. But I might quit my TA job. So if this does become 0, then it would be minus something. So I have to adjust something here. But for now, let's just have it as what it was before. Then per month, I would be left over with this. And when you're looking at it, expense and the bills are very similar. It's because of the food. Like the groceries, I think it would be a bit higher, but like it does balance it. Like for the other stuff, I think like the other would just go here and the other would be 0 in a sense. But yeah, like I do spend a lot on just food rather than anything. So yeah, so this is my budget planner as a PhD student in like who's not living at home kind of thing. So yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to see from me, or like a life or a viewpoint as a student kind of thing. Or even if you're a student, how could I improve my budget plan or something? Or no, I mean, so even if you're a student, how could you like save more in a sense? Or like what could you do to do some extra side hustles or extra work in a sense? Then I could just give you some tips on that. Let me know if you want me to make a video on that kind of thing. Or if you're a professional finance, so or like a advisor kind of thing, let me know how I could improve on this, because I know my expenses are pretty high and my bills are high, but I just know that I can't reduce these, like my groceries and eating out. Nah, I just love food too much. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's it for me, and that's it for me, and until next time, bye.